This quick tip video, I'm going to show you how I clean my brushes. Even when you're painting and you have your brushes in linseed oil soaking there or in the turpentine, paint gets stuck in between and down deep into the ferrule, and we need to get that out. My name is Vida Evenson, and I paint grease. A disclaimer here. If you have brand new, beautiful brushes, you may not want to use this particular method. I use this method because my brushes are old. They're already kind of bent a little bit, out of shape and used up. So this is a quick and easy method that you can use to clean your brushes. Here I have a jar of brushes that is sitting, the brushes are in linseed oil. And I just fill up the jar and drop my brushes in there. And you can see that I just wipe out the paint and put it in the sink. Probably better to put it in some kind of tub. And I just kind of wipe down with a paper towel, get as much paint out and of the oil out that I can. You can see the oil is very dirty. And then I'm adding some dish soap with a little bit of warm water and letting the brushes sit in there. And I'm going to be using this bottle cap, jar top, I guess would be a better word for it, and putting some soap in there and just getting most of the paint out. I'm not going to get all of it out, but I don't want to usually clean the brushes on the palm of my hand. And I want to make sure I get most of the paint off. As you can see, it's pretty clean. The brushes are pretty clean. But before I give them a second pass through with soap and rubbing out as much as I can, I want to make sure that that they are basically clean. So when I rub them on my palm, they just, I don't know, I just have a better sense that I can get a feel of what's going on. I'm just more connected to the brush that I'm working on, and just getting as much out as I possibly can. And it basically will clear them out completely. There may be a few brushes that didn't get completely clean. Here's one right here, and I'm doing a second pass to see if I can get some of the paint that is pretty much dried on some of the brush hairs. You can see right there, right? And so that's going to need some extra work. So I'm going to put it back in with the warm water and soap and just kind of let them sit for a couple days and then come back and see what I can do with it. Washing everything out, I lay them out to dry. They're in pretty good shape still. Just splayed bristles here and there. So as you can see, you know, they're a little bit frayed, they're worn down, but you know what? They work perfectly fine for oil paints. And when I want to get a very, very sharp edge, a section of my painting that needs to have a new brush that's not frayed in any ways, I will use a new brush. But for the majority of my painting, you know, these brushes are still working just fine. And when you get them soaked in with the paint, they pull in, and the little frayed edges kind of work better. They come back together and are held by the oil paints. There are times when you want to have a splayed brush, like foregrounds and doing grass. They work beautifully. You can smudge up, which is not a good idea for your brushes, but when they're old and you don't really care about keeping them in their high quality standard, you know, you can push on the brush and you can get some interesting patterns in your foreground or for the tree area, for the leaves of the trees. There's all sorts of things that you can do. And it's just an easy way. I don't normally go through with this full washing. I don't think that the dish soap or any kind of soap is particularly healthy for your brushes. But because I keep my brushes in linseed oil, I don't soak them in the turpentine. If I've got paint on the brush, I will wipe it off on a paper towel, the extra paint, and drop it in my jar of linseed oil. And they can sit there for days, a month even. They can just sit there as long as they're in oil and they are getting moisture from the oil, and you can save your brushes and keep them around for a much longer time. So with that, you guys, be inspired, be creative, be you, and have a beautiful time painting. Thank you so much for being here. Those of you who have subscribed and who are following me on my live streams and my morning musings and the other various types of videos that I'm putting out on painting and on the inner path, the inner contemplative path, which are the two are in my world connected. The more I learn about painting, the more I learn about myself. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe. It helps me out, and have a beautiful, beautiful day.